to take another terrifying journey into the world of mystery, suspense, and terror. Let's turn on all the lights, lock the doors and windows, sit back and enjoy this evening's chilling tale.
Well, hello, and thank you folks out there in internet land for tuning that dial to the Eek channel. My name is James, and I'm joined by my co-host today,
Cody.
This is Eek Live, the show that serves as your weekly horror house party where everyone wants to talk about scary movies. And today, we're going to call up our friend Mark, our new friend Mark.
Let's go, Mark.
He is at Midnight Social Distortion on Instagram. All together there. He runs a really cool blog called Midnight Social Distortion, where he talks about scary movies and kind of how they relate to some like just social, how they reflect social constructs and environments in the movies, which we talk about a lot as well in our reviews. He particularly has a really great review of Us. That
Us?
Not Us, but Jordan Peele's Us.
I knew what you were
which actually is kind of how I found Mark. Was I had been following him on the old Graham Fam for a while, and saw his write up of Us, and it was really good. I mean, a great perspective and a similar take to what we have had, and. So I was like, we need to meet this guy and have him on the show. So
definitely,
we're gonna go ahead and give him a ring-a-ding.
Give him a ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. So in this time last week, I feel like I dropped kind of a little bomb.
You did,
and so this week I'm going to drop a new little nugget. It's Cody's nugget of horror.
I love it.
And so this last week I watched 13 Cameras, which is on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's okay. It's not as good as Creep. We've talked about Creep in the past.
Sure.
I got to go fast because I know you're about to hit call.
Oh, I'm ready.
13 Cameras. It's creepy, though. It's not scary. It's creepy.
Yeah.
And I would say it gets... this is not the Eek seal of approval. This is like, hey, if you got some free time and you ain't got nothing to do. I currently just became a teacher, and I got nothing to do in the summer, so it's a lot of time.
Got a few weeks?
I got a few weeks. Got ridiculous amounts of morning time on my hands. So I watch these crappy movies, and this one less so crappy. So
that's good.
Yeah. Entertaining.
Do you have a follow-up on your hot take from last week? Have you finished Stranger Things 3?
I have the climax to finish.
Okay.
And I would say my follow-up would be the how they flesh things out. I think it is an important distinction. How they are fleshing out the storyline is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I like when we're in monster mode.
Okay.
It is the way the original 4, and now we have 7 or 8 now.
There's a lot of characters now.
We're getting Nancy and Will's older brother, like they're all now OG cast, you know? So the original 4 plus 11 plus Max plus the 3 siblings, or the 2 siblings and Hare, what's his name? Steve the Hare Harrington. Steve. Which is an amazing character. And plus like chick from like Scoops Ahoy, who that whole
Robin.
There's a lot of it that's great. Scoops Ahoy, the whole Steve Harrington character is amazing. But I think what it comes down to is the forcing of the retro ad placements. And the shoving down the throat of, look at all of these late 80s hits that we're giving you in the soundtrack, and then the way the main characters interact. Like, it's
some people really don't like the ad placement and all of that stuff. I'm the most disappointed in the marketing tie-ins IRL. Like, it's just ridiculous at this point. So Burger King is a featured
Sorry. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like an audio. Sometimes we get feedback on the chat that's audio, and this is not. So.
Burger King was a featured sponsor in the movie for like half a second. Yeah. Or not the movie, the show. But Jim goes and gets a Whopper
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. But if you go to Burger King right now, they have their regular style Burger King cups. They didn't do a cool new 80s throwback. They didn't do a cool new limited collector's edition design cup with Stranger Things monsters and stuff on it. It's the same Burger King cup, and it just says Stranger Things on the bottom of it. Really small.
You know what, though? As fast as interest flies right now in modern culture, good for them. Like, they realize, like, hey, you know what? If we're running Stranger Things cups come August, we're idiots. Like, let's go through the stock we got, and we get probably free. I would imagine there's some ridiculous deal where they.
Who knows how all the math on that works out? But yeah, and you know, obviously Target has the Netflix partnership to get merchandise, so there's action figures and T-shirts and all that stuff in all of your local Target stores. That stuff's more disappointing to me. Oh yeah, getting the burps out.
It is. Let's go.
Getting the burps out. That stuff's more disappointing to me than the like the new Coke scene with Lucas drinking the new Coke and like throwing his head back and like, because to me that's tongue in cheek enough. Definitely. That they're doing it on purpose and winking at it in a way because those were tropes of 80s movies. Yeah. And I think that in general, that's kind of what's happened with the entire series. I don't know. Maybe we need to do a deeper dive on that another time.
I appreciate you gave me like 30 seconds to I mean, like we probably got a lot of people who are like, what the heck is this guy saying? He doesn't like Stranger Things. And that's not what I'm saying. It's very entertaining.
Well, and you came out swinging kind of hard last week.
But all I said was it's not as good. And I would still argue, like the way they're developing, great. But I think what was so amazing was the organic nature of the relationships of the original four. And we've lost that.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, they're pushing certain social commentary or the coming of age. And I feel like they did that enough in season one. Like, and it was so organic. And you kind of brought up a point, like inside conversation, like maybe we're just discovering that they're not great actors. That could be too. But it's probably time to call Pete.
Mark.
Nailed it. That's what I said.
We're going to give Mark a call.
Let's go, Mark.
And say hey.
If Mark doesn't already know that I'm the village idiot, then he will now. So.
Hello?
Hey, is this Mark?
Yeah, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark, this is James from Eek Channel. How you doing today?
I'm fine. How y'all?
I'm doing good, man. I'm joined by my co-host, Cody.
Mark, how's it going, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic. Yeah. Hey, what? I notice a distinct drawl you got in your voice. What part of the country are you from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Let's go, man. It's nice. It's nice for you to join us for a little bit. Appreciate that.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mark, the first thing that I want to do is I want to jump in to almost kind of the business portion, just to get all that out of the way. So obviously, you know, I discovered your blog through Instagram, Midnight Social Distortion. I think a lot of your write-ups are just really great, and I think you bring just amazing perspective to the horror community. A couple highlights that I have are I loved your Us review. I loved your recent article about R.L. Stine's Fear Street. And so, yeah, man, I've really been keeping track of what's happening on the blog, and I love it. So would you mind just maybe just taking a moment and kind of plugging it and telling people where they can find all the Midnight Social Distortion stuff and maybe kind of how you got started doing it, that kind of thing?
Well, I really do appreciate the praise, because I'm glad somebody's reading it. Because I've been trying to figure out other stuff to put up there and everything in between, everything going on in my life right now. But it's Midnight Social Distortion.wordpress.com. I created it as a means of talking about like LGBT or Black LGBT horror, or just, you know, anything within that mind frame, or the lens, rather, the lens of a Black LGBT person, or anybody, person of color who might be, you know, don't have a voice in the horror community. Sure. We do. It's just that, you know, just something to you know, highlight on. But yeah, but the Us review that came kind of late, but I'm glad you liked it. The other article you mentioned, the Fear Street one, I came up with that one because I was like seeing the news of the upcoming Fear Street trilogy. There are a lot of people were like, well, Goosebumps is more popular than Fear Street. I'm like, well, we would not have a Goosebumps if it wasn't for Fear Street. So I've done some leads of just saying like Fear Street came first. So
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, so we're actually we're in the middle of it right now, just kind of the beginning stages. We've recorded just a few episodes. My wife actually never read the Fear Street books growing up, and so she's starting with some of her friends to cover all the Fear Street original series in a separate podcast. Ooh. So I've been working with her and getting some of those recorded, and that's been a lot of fun. And just revisiting some of that early R.L. Stine, man, is just awesome. I love it.
Yes, it's he's an icon. He's a what they call American treasure. We have to protect him at all costs.
Yeah. All right, man. So I like to jump in on like your horror origin story. I think that everyone has maybe something that they saw really early or somehow they got into the genre, and those are usually some of my favorite stories to hear from people. So what's your horror origin story?
Okay. It's kind of very early. At the age of 3, my parents were trying to
Mark, we all started way too early. I love to hear it. Age of 3, let's go. Keep going.
Yeah, because they were trying to bed train me, and my mom is just I love my mom. She's kind of crazy because when like she sees anything on TV that like, let's say for instance, if like let's say one of the characters in the thing starts transforming into something else, instead of her like cringing, she starts laughing hysterically. Yes. And she finds it's the most funny thing possible. So I'm sitting here in my brand new bed trying to go to sleep, and then I hear this maniacal laugh. And I'm like, what is this? So I'm walking down the hallway, and I can hear just like this laughter and my mom's laughter. And I go to see what she's laughing at, and it's Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Street 1 coming out to Tina for the first time. He's first final reveal. And literally at the time when he says, "This is God," and Tina bolts, I bolt to my room screaming. Yes. And my mom's like, "It's fake, it's not real, it's not real." So my whole thing is Freddy Krueger. So he's the most, he's the one who brought me into this. Yeah. And it took some years for me to get used to the horror and everything, though. But once I got into it, my parents went from worrying about trying to tell me that this is real or not, like this is not real,
right,
to okay, he's watching the shit a little bit too much. so it got to the point where they were like, well, now we have to worry about you not walking around the house possessed by something. So yeah.
Yes. Oh man, that is awesome. Actually, Freddy was kind of my biggest intro too. I did see some glimpses of Scream whenever my parents rented it, but at some point I think I was in like not quite 3 years old, but it was for me, Freddy, for whatever reason. So I grew up on the East Coast, and Freddy, out of anyone, just was talked about in my school for some reason, like my elementary school. And so like the nursery rhyme and stuff, and then like the cool kids would like sing it, and then you'd be like, man, what are they talking about? And they're like, oh, you don't know Freddy? And I'm like, nah. And then like eventually I found out through those like mail order New Line Cinema like catalogs where you could like order the tapes and get them in the mail. Yeah, so I got one of those, and my mom was just sort of like, oh, just pick whatever you want, and I checked off Nightmare on Elm Street, and then she actually got it for me, like no questions asked, and then from then on out, man, it's been horror movies for me.
It's so funny because I have like my early, again, this is Cody, Mark, my early like indoctrination was like not even real scary movies. It was Mars Attacks and Jurassic Park, but I was just so sheltered and so young that I was terrified. And so I saw I saw Nightmare on Elm Street so much later, and like I just laughed. I think I was probably like 16 or 17, and like the scene where he's running down the hall and you see his silhouette and his arms are like 3 times longer than his body.
Puppet arms,
Like
Yeah.
it's just like I can't help but laugh. But because I'm the one who was scared of Mars attacks, like if I would have seen that at the age of 3, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, you would have.
I would have. I already peed the bed way too late in life. Like, That would have exacerbated the problem.
Yeah, I understand all too well, man. Because Mars Attack, if you look at it out of context, yeah, it will probably scare the hell out of me too. So, okay. I understand. Holy hell, Beetlejuice, for instance. You know, what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Beetlejuice. If you take one scene out of Beetlejuice and just don't watch the whole movie, and you show some kid, you're gonna scare the hell out of them.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, completely agree.
Oh, the thing in Beetlejuice that always scared me. It's funny thinking about it now, but like I wasn't even that scared of like kind of the famous scene of whenever I forget their names, but the ghosts, and they like, you know, deform their faces to try to be scary.
Yes.
That wasn't the one that got me. The one that got me was the dinner party whenever the shrimp cocktail turned into like a hand.
Yes.
And it had those like jumbo shrimp fingers. Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
Oh, let's go.
Yes.
All right.
Oh God.
Mark, I wanted to change things up a little bit here. So we've kind of been asking people a lot of the same questions, but I had a feeling that you might have a really good answer for this question, and that is,
Okay.
we may. I'm not saying that we've seen everything, because we certainly haven't. But as far as like planning our review episodes and stuff that we do, I feel like I'm kind of in a rut. I'm sort of like kind of in a place where I'm waiting for some of the new stuff to become available on rental so that we can review it. And so I just wanted to know if you had any horror recommendations, maybe something that you think is severely underrated and deserves some more love and some more attention. I would love to know what it is.
Okay. You mean it has to be recent, or does it have to be old
Anytime.
school?
Yeah,
or...
anything at all that you think just does not get enough attention.
Can I give you 2?
Yes, you can.
Okay. They're kind of old. One is Demons. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it, but I actually just came across the title recently, and it kind of piqued my interest, so I'm really interested to hear you talk about it.
Okay, Demons, because that was the second movie that really screwed me up, and I didn't get a chance to watch it again until I was like, 20?
Yeah.
I thought I was 8, and it really messed me up for life. So Demons is one.
All right, great.
And another one is actually one that I came across recently that a lot of people don't talk about as much. It's a British production called Ghost Watch.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I
Okay.
am almost 100% always into British production stuff. So actually, it goes back to like my sense of humor, like I love a lot of British humor stuff.
Sure.
Coen Brothers really dive into that stuff. And so anything that kind of, and actually like Wicker Man, like if you go back into some old school like horror stuff, it also like it ties back. You got some deep ties into that as well. So that's, let's go. I'm in.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ghost Watch. It's just a quick summarization. It is pretty much like, think of when Orson Welles read the War of the Worlds on the radio, but they took actual British people, and then it's the actual British reporters and like commentaries for like BBC, and they did a ghost hunting thing on live television one night, and everybody in Britain thought that this was real.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Let's
so
go.
it got banned from being re-aired ever again to like recently. So that's how bad it was, because people called the network like, what the hell's going on? And so that came across, and I could see why they were scared, because I was sitting there watching it. I'm like, this actually aired over there? Because these people are playing their actual sales. So it's like, yeah, I probably freaked out if I saw Anderson Cooper or some, person saying, yeah, we're doing a ghost hunting thing, but actual stuff is happening. We don't know what's going on. So, yeah.
Dude, that's incredible.
Check that out.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
definitely check that out. That sounds awesome. Okay, well, I did ask you in advance what some of your favorite horror movies are, and I came up with just three. I got three trivia questions for you, and these are all based on Nightmare on Elm Street trivia.
Oh, okay.
And they're multiple choice, so no pressure. All right,
No pressure. You got to remember,
Okay.
Mark. You're talking to the layman of the horror community. Like, there was last week I interviewed a guy, and we both agreed that Halloween was our favorite. And then question one, I didn't know the answer to. So there you go. Hey, no pressure.
Okay.
No pressure.
Okay.
all right. So number one for Nightmare on Elm Street trivia, I have how many gallons of blood were used in the making of Nightmare on Elm Street? A, 200 gallons, B, 500 gallons, or C, 1,000 gallons?
Oh, you got me with a good one. You got me. I'm gonna go with B because that number sounds real familiar to me.
Yep, 500. You got
Let's
it.
go.
You got it.
All right.
500.
Yes.
And, the first when I first saw that, I was in my head. I was thinking, man, I know there's some blood in that movie, but is it that bloody? And then I remembered the Johnny Depp scene. It's
Dude, the Johnny Depp scene.
Exactly.
Zaps half of that.
Right,
Oh
right.
my gosh.
Exactly. I would hate to be the person to clean up all of that afterwards.
All right, so number two here, we
Ooh.
have how many times is the phrase Elm Street said in the movie? We have A, 13 times, B, 1 time, or C, 0 times.
Oh, I should know this down back of my head. I want to say, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. 0?
0.
Oh,
0.
Mark, come
They-
out swinging. Let's
They
go.
never refer to Elm Street by name. They never say Nancy's address or anything like that.
Dang.
So kind of interesting to have a movie called Nightmare on Elm Street and they never actually say Elm Street. I think you see the signpost.
I think you do see the signpost
But yeah, you don't.
once or twice.
Yeah,
but
they don't ever say it.
that's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
What movie is playing on the TV in Nancy's bedroom as she drifts to sleep?
The Evil Dead.
Boom! Already got it. He's already got it.
I love it. I love when there is no option necessary. Oh, I'm always so impressed. Let's go.
Yep, it's so good. And so I guess the follow up to that is in Evil Dead 2, Freddy Krueger's glove is hanging in the tool shed whenever Ash grabs the chainsaw, and I never knew that, but I guess they started doing little callbacks back and forth with Wes Craven and Sam Raimi, so I think that's pretty fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. I was like, oh, shit.
So Mark, I have an unscripted question that I have liked to ask our guests. We've gotten a deep dive into your favorite film. A lot of us can connect with that. Is there one, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, so if you want to say pass, that's cool. We'll continue the conversation. But is there one movie or franchise that you would remove from the horror genre? You're like, you know what? That's just god awful.
Get this one out of here.
Let's not even ever credit that one ever again. Because I feel like this can be just as telling as someone's favorite film. Last week, our guest said Terrifier. We here in Fort Wayne loved Terrifier.
Love Terrifier.
And I guess down in Alabama, we don't like Terrifier. Louisiana, we don't. Not a man of information over here. So is there one series, or it can just be one singular movie? We've gotten that answer as well, and that's cool. There's a lot of crappy horror movies out there. So is there one that you just would wipe off the face of the planet?
I'm being actually generous with this one because I'm pretty sure there's some other crap out there. But the Final Destination.
Oh,
the Final Destination. Final Destination 4.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
You know what? That was a pretty quick recall for a pretty forgettable movie. Good. That was a great answer. That was a great answer.
Oh yeah, and then I think it's in the works to be rebooted again. I believe so.
Yeah, because it was just bad. I remember seeing him. I mean, I was a huge fan of Final Destination. So when that one came out, I was
great.
Yeah. Well, I like the fifth one for what it did because it's just like we can't go no further with the speed. So we're just gonna just sit there, we're just gonna like go to before. I'm like, okay, I like how they did all that. I would say that the fifth Final Destination would have the twist at the end, kind of saved the franchise a little bit, but it was still like too late. Come too little, too late. But yeah.
No, incredible answer. Great. Like I said, we blindsided you. I thought that was an incredible answer.
Yeah, great job. All right, Mark. So I'm not gonna say that we have the biggest audience or listenership, but I'll give you one more opportunity if there's anything else that you'd like to say or throw out there before we let you go. The floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I do have one article left. It was about Bale from Friday Night Part 2. He is the iconic androgynous vampire who I felt so the same with him, along with Julie Harmon. Excuse me. Who just every time they were the scene together, I was like, "Oh, I'm here for it." I wrote an article honoring the actor Russell Clark who played their role, so you can check that out. Yeah. As far as anything else, just hit me up on Midnight Social Distortion on Instagram, where you can browse through my continuously growing T-shirt collection.
Let's go.
I love hard tees. I love them. I'm thinking about doing an article on hard tees because I look at collecting hard tees as like people who collect sneakers.
Oh, absolutely.
Or something like that. I have like particular ways of taking care of them and everything and making sure they stay, stay tight and everything. But
you just scooped up some Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors tees, right?
Boom.
Yeah, gutter guards.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love them. So I love collecting hard tees, so there might be something like that coming up soon. And I'm trying to get the blog on a regular posting schedule, but I have to work out my work schedule, which is crazy and whatnot. But other than that, just hit me at the Midnight Social Distortion.
Yeah. Awesome, Mark.
Oh, and follow me on Twitter at the Anti-Critic. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm on Twitter at the Anti-Critic on Twitter.
The Anti-Critic.
Awesome.
Mark, it was so nice having you. You're an incredible dude. I love what you're doing over there, and keep up the great work, all right?
Thank you. You guys as well. Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, so I'll be the first one to say, didn't know Mark even existed.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to dig into some of his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like a super cool dude, and like obviously just a different perspective. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really excited just to dig into some of these things that I'm glad he was able to just get a little platform. Not, again, like you said, we don't necessarily have the biggest viewership, but like even if it's just me, like another person, getting eyes on that information, incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
Great stuff. So I wanted to move into just a little bit of horror news before I wrap up. I need to get a sound effect.
Oh, there it was. Dum dum dum.
Okay, we're just gonna record you doing that. Cue it up. So my horror news for this week it's really perfect that you're here to talk about it today.
Oh, Cody. I know where you're going.
You already know.
I can feel it.
There was no news bigger than the news that broke last week.
I'd like to think that we both saw it like at the exact same time, and we both maybe shed a tear, thinking of the other in their own respective abode.
Yeah,
maybe still watching this video.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on the toilet, but
let's not think about each other on the toilet. But well, it's too late. I just did. So
there you go.
Okay, break the news.
All right, so the official teaser trailer announcement of 2 Halloween movies.
Ooh, that's stretching it. I know it's stretching it, but I'm really excited.
So this has been rumored for a little bit.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the rumor was they thought they might try to do like, for the first time ever, like the dual album of movies, and like release them at the same time.
Ooh.
And maybe they wouldn't be like direct sequels, but it would be like two different Halloween things happening at the same time. That's not what the news was.
You know what though? They would have. I think about all the people that are kind of like my mom in the world, and they would have just confused them. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Not that my mom would have ever stepped foot in that theater, but she would have just gotten confused.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the news that we got, what the teaser trailer is worded in a very specific way.
Very specific way.
Saying Laurie Strode and Michael Myers' story is not over.
Yep.
2020, Halloween kills.
Yep.
2021, Halloween ends.
Yeah, and I wish I had the script in front of me. I know it's super simple, but I just don't have it in front of me to reference. I actually think that it words it in such a way that makes it sound like I know Laurie Strode, or I know that Jamie Lee Curtis is contracted for both.
Right.
But kind of the way they make it sound is like the interaction. And maybe it's just the way they tied the two teasers together is like, it'll end in the first one. And then, boop, oh, wait, no, we got another one. It's coming at you. So I'm really interested. Again, I'm probably the only person in America who's really interested in these next two movies. Maybe not. I don't know.
Think so. I think the hype train is real. I think what's interesting.
I hope so.
I think what's very, very interesting is I took the stance of you can leave it with Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yep.
And then as soon as I saw this teaser, I got really excited.
Yeah, and I think it does. So like there isn't one aspect of any of the sequels where one of the people is connected, not all of them.
Right.
That is good. But when kind of all the OG pieces came together for 2018, we got I won't say it was excellent. I won't say it was groundbreaking. I will say it was box office breaking because those aren't my numbers to make up. It was incredible.
Yep.
But it was entertaining. It was when you think about all of just us as a friend group over the last 4 years, all of the crappy, shitty, scary movies we have waded through.
Bad movies.
like armpit high, and I am a tall guy.
Windmills.
This windmills. Josh, you're a short guy. That's over your head. This is like we think about some of these absolutely obscure films that we have tried, and they're awful. Yep. And we certainly haven't uncovered gems. We've found sources that have pointed us in right directions. But this one was.
We're not the kingmakers by any means.
Definitely not. But this was low hanging fruit that was good. I mean, often you find low hanging fruit that's just meh. And
Jigsaw.
It
was just meh. I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it was meh.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of opinions out there, but I would say the new It Part 1 was meh.
I agree.
But
even though people are real hard about Chapter 2 right now,
and you know
I'm
what?
Not super pumped about it. It's fine.
Chapter 2 could be better.
Yeah.
Because first one was meh.
Yep.
But 2018 was entertaining. There were parts of it that felt very current. The little president kid that was like cracking me up, and like they hit you with funny, they hit you with like horror, like classic horror, and like, and I know that it wasn't original, but also it wasn't awful.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I've shared this enough from my perspective. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I know what Force Unleashed did. Force Awakens, I think Unleashed. I don't remember. Whatever.
Unleashed was a video game.
Yeah.
You
idiot. Okay. Force Awakens. I know what it did to create a new generation of Star Wars fans.
Yes.
It wasn't a great. It was New Hope. It was New Hope with new people. Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't original. It just captured another generation. And I feel like Halloween 2018 actually was okay, and it captured a new generation, which is hard to do.
Yep.
And so,
that being said, same screenwriter.
Okay.
For both of the sequels.
Fantastic.
I think he's not directing both.
Okay.
But he is writing both.
Okay. I feel like one of these two, and I know that this could be low expectations, which may be perfect place to be viewing this from.
True.
One of these two is going to be good.
Yeah.
We're either going to say second one sucked, third one was great, or we're going to say second one was great, third one was horrible, let's end it there.
Right.
I'm not setting my sights on both of these are going to be great because the first one wasn't great. It was good. It was entertaining. It was good.
Yep.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited that John Carpenter's in, that Jamie Lee Curtis is in with John Carpenter.
Yep. I'm on the hype train.
I'm on it. And
I don't like admitting that I am, but I am.
And they're not drawing it out painfully long. Like this isn't like, oh, in 3 years you're going to get one more, and then after that, I mean, if all of these people are still around and interested, we'll get another one. Like,
I mean, the fact that they're releasing them
essentially
back to
back
back,
and it's not going to be another year of production. They're shooting them together, and so we don't have to try to rekindle somebody's interest. Let's shoot it all together. And if John Carpenter loses interest, great, that's fine because it's already done.
I think in a perfect world, they would have wanted them to all be pushed back a year and be one after 3 back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they wanted, but you always have to do the first one to prove that you can make the money.
It's worth the funding, right?
Yep. I think that's probably would have been in a perfect world what they would have done, which would have been closer even to John Carpenter's thing of Halloween being an anthology series. You can release a new Halloween movie every single year. Yeah.
And I will say, and this could be idealistic, and I get it, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say these guys, specifically Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis, they don't need to make 2 more.
No.
I feel like they're coming out to make a statement to say, okay, we get it. What we created initially was stretched, mutilated, maybe even adulterated. And what we've come to do is set the record straight. Let's end on a high note and let's put it to rest.
Yep.
And I feel like, and I've gone on record before to say, like, hey, I want more sequels of. I said it on one of our episodes. I said I want another sequel to the Saw movies because I feel like the Saw movies were bad. Like, they got off track.
Right.
And I feel like we can revive this. And
they need a better capstone.
Yes.
They deserve a better capstone.
And I feel like we could be. Like, this is the hope. This is the hope that we are getting the capstone we deserve. Aren't all of us, let's unite as Halloween and Star Wars fans and say we want a capstone to Halloween and we want a capstone to Darth Vader's saga. Let's go.
Good God.
No, too far, too much, too soon, too nerdy. Nerdy. I'm sorry.
I'm just
got off track.
I'm just the Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and me is just sitting back here saying, "Oh yeah, where was my where's my Freddy capstone?" Right? Because that really got shat on, and then I think New Line has gone out of business now, and now like the rights are just a huge clusterfuck, and we're probably never getting another Nightmare on Elm Street. No. All right, well that about wraps it up for this episode. Do not forget, Eek Live is our online horror talk show, and you are invited to the party, every single one of you. We record live on Twitch Monday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard. We'd love for you to join us and be a part of the audience in chat. Cody, what do you need for a party?
French onion chip dip.
Yep.
Potato chips.
Yep.
Beer.
Yep.
Friends.
Yeah. Nailed it. And Cody and I can sit here and just talk to each other till we're blue in the face, but nobody really gives a shit about that.
We do it every day and nobody tunes in, so.
So what we would really love is just to continue to have more guests on the show. We want to talk to you about your favorite scary movies, your horror origin story, all of that stuff. So if you are interested in being a guest on the show, just like Mark was today, please hit us up on Instagram at Eek Channel. That is EEKCHANNEL. And if you want to help out the show, you can rate, review, comment, like wherever you listen, or don't do any of that. Just tell a friend. We live off of your word of mouth. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thanks again. Another shout out to Mark. Awesome time today with you, brother. Look forward to digging into your stuff.
Boom.
This has been a production of Eek Channel. We make spooky stuff for people like you. You can discover more content like this at eekchannel.com or find us on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. And don't be shy. We like making new friends. Thank you for tuning in, and stay eeky out there.